Hello and welcome to the Wild West Gamer. You joined me, the Wild West Gamer, here in the gaming grotto, which is freezing cold. So that's why I'm cuddled up in a duvet at the moment. I know, incredibly manly, having a flowery duvet wrapped around you. And today I bring you a talky episode, but one that I had to do because I'm so excited because Game of Thrones Series 3 is almost here. It's literally, it's like, I can taste it on the air. It is so close, and it is set to be absolutely phenomenal. And essentially why I'm doing this video is because if you are not watching Game of Thrones, watch Game of Thrones. Seriously, you would be regretting it if you don't. I didn't see Series 1 the full time round. I didn't have Sky. I don't have Sky. I still don't have Sky. I didn't see Series 1 the first time round. I didn't see Series 2 the first time round. I saw bits and bobs enough to make me go, yeah, alright. But not enough to make me go, yeah, I've got to watch that. So when a friend lent me Series 1, I checked it out, I watched it. Wow, I watched it back to back, didn't I? Because quite frankly, it's the best thing that's on TV. There are a lot of programs I like to watch. There's a lot of ones I'm dedicated to. Doctor Who, Falling Skies. Yeah, I mean those two primarily. There are a couple other that made me, I look into. But Game of Thrones immediately went to my number one spot. I don't really want to say too much about what actually happens in the program because I'm really scared I'll ruin it for you. This is one of those programs I do not want to say anything because it really can ruin a large swathe of what you're about to see if you know even the tiniest detail. So I'm going to avoid doing that. But I'll give you a sort of a brief description of what Game of Thrones is. If I was to take it and throw it at the wall, essentially the first thing you'd be looking at would be dark, gritty fantasy. Now, fantasy is that really sort of taboo word because if you say fantasy, everyone goes, "Oh, great! So it's just for teenage geeky guys," and you go, "No, it's not. So fuck off." This is seriously. If anyone thinks that, just piss off, stop watching the video, go away. It pisses me off. I've said Game of Thrones to people and you just hear them go, huh, yeah, alright, I'm not a nerd. You go, well, that's cool because it's not for nerds. But no, I get it. Oh, you're too busy watching Jersey Shore. Oh, okay, you go watching a program of that quality, and I'll go back to my nerdy program of Game of Thrones. Seriously, Game of Thrones is fantastic. Yes, it is fantasy, so get over it. Yes, it's dark and gritty. It's mature, dark, gritty fantasy. And you know why I can say that without going, because this was done before The Dark Knight. I know now if you go, oh, it's dark and gritty, people go, oh, The Dark Knight? You go, no, again, it's not because of The Dark Knight. This was done before. It is for a mature audience. It is set in a world where believable events happen. Now, that may sound, again, a bit like, what, in a fantasy program? You go, not fair, a fantasy series, sorry. You go, yeah, it's fantasy in the way that it's not set in a real world. It's not set in a real world location. There are slight elements to it which are quite, fantastical. And yeah, there are dragons in it. There are, magical creatures. But it's not la Harry Potter sort of fantasy. It's not, it's not all, shits and giggles. This is, bad stuff happens to a lot of people because they mess around with stuff they don't understand. There is constant scheming, constant betrayal. The whole notion of keep your friends closer, keep your enemies closer applies to this program so much. There are so many assholes in this program who will slit someone's throat as quick as look at them just to get one step up in the world. Likewise, though, there are also there's another large amount of very good, honourable characters. And what's great about this program is good things and bad things happen to both of those in great swathes. So you see people get punished and rewarded, not necessarily in the correct order, not necessarily for the right reasons, but it happens. And the characters, each one of them is so perfectly done. Now I always say The Lord of the Rings had some of the best casting ever, really did. The casting was almost spot on. There really is there's no one I would change in Lord of the Rings with regard to character. Game of Thrones does an even better job. So that gives you an idea of how good the characters are in this and how good the actors are in this. each one of them makes me believe that they are who they say they are. You know, each one of them is just so, you know, you're mesmerized watching their performances because they're such, you know, so fantastically acted. You've got Kit Harington, Maisie Williams, Sean Bean, Peter Dinklage. You've got Lana Headey. Lana Headey. Yeah, I think that's her name. You've that's a handful of characters. You've got so many handful of actors. Sorry, you've got so many in there. I'm not even going to try, but they're a handful. They're a handful of my favourite actors in this, and they're just brilliant, absolutely fantastic, so good. I refer to that, of course, with Game of Thrones as a whole, not to the most recent series, and that ties into some people die. Don't get attached. Well, no, do get attached. Sorry, that's what I was going to say. Do get attached. Really find characters you like. Just beware. They're probably going to die. A lot of people die in this, and it's fantastic because it treats its viewers like intelligent, mature human beings. I am tired of programs which find really weak and pathetic reasons to keep popular characters alive. This doesn't. If someone gets stabbed in the face, they die. There is no magic spell to bring them back. There is no, oh, that wasn't really him, that was his twin or some shit like that, which you never knew about before that episode. No, people die. Your favourite character who has been, you know, an absolute godsend to the characters around him, you know, who's always there, really ready to protect and serve and be honour bound. Yeah, he's probably going to die, and it ain't going to be nice. It's going to be slow, horrific, painful torture, probably. You know, they will die in the worst kinds of ways, and the people who did it probably will never get caught or brought to justice. It is so fantastic to have a program which treats me like that and goes, you know what? Just carry on watching, all right, because it doesn't matter necessarily that person doesn't get, you know, they don't get the, you know, they're never, their death is never sort of avowed or anything like that. You know, it's the fact that their death perhaps represents something, or, you know, becomes inspiration for other characters or stuff like that. You know, perhaps they universally become martyr, stuff like that. You know, that's a very small slither of what, you know, can happen in Game of Thrones. But it's such a well-written, well-performed, just well-done show, which you are really going to love. HBO have really got this at the moment. They've really got their finger set firmly on the beat for what people want. And it's stuff that people don't even realise they want, which is so well done. I really hope HBO continues this, you know, and I say this as far as what I've watched of HBO, but HBO's got a lot of really good programs, and they really need to, you know, keep it up, really keep on going, you know, and really pushing ahead into what TV can present, because this series of Game of Thrones that's coming up, Series 3, the time is extended on each episode. You're going to get longer episodes. I believe an hour and a half. Hour and a half? That's like a film, dude. Yeah, you're going to get that. The series is going to be longer, and the budget they are throwing at this thing. Apparently, the budget for one episode of Series 3 is what all of Series 1 had. Seriously, just consider that. I can't give you any facts and figures, but you know that an American show is going to be dealing with millions and millions of dollars. Just shit, dude. I mean, seriously, that is just wow. And because of the care and attention this program receives, that money will be well spent. Now, I based my opinion of what I think Series 3 is going to be like on the trailers, and there is a lot of trailers, but damn, it just looks so good. There's no, you know, the passion is still there, that the style of the show is still there. It just looks so exciting to know that Series 3 is where the best stuff is going to be happening. Series 1 was fantastic. Series 2 was even better. But Series 3 is the culmination to both of those two series. You know, this is where some of the biggest stuff happens. So, that is why you should be excited about Series 3 of Game of Thrones, and why you should be excited about the whole thing in general. Game of Thrones, ask anyone. Just shout it in the street. Just shout, why should I watch Game of Thrones? And anyone walking past will just say, because it's the best thing on TV. And that doesn't mean, not just because it's the best TV, watch it. Don't be a hipster, watch it because you want to see something that's mature, because you're tired of generic, contrived, bland TV. Watch something like this if you want intelligent, mature, well written and well handled themes and characters, good amount of action as well, good amount of blood and gore if you like that, good amount of sex if you like that. Trust me, there is a lot of that. Yeah, when I say mature, I mean seriously, you may want to watch this by yourself. There is some serious boobage in this program. Really, there's some fairly tender scenes. There's some real skanky stuff in this. So, and when I say to people, there's something for everyone. They go, for everyone. I go, yeah, action for the action guys, blood and guts for the blood and guts guys, a bit of horror for the horror guys, a bit of suspense, a bit of, the sort of the intrigue for the thriller fans, a bit of sex for the dirty-minded out there. They go, well, the sex doesn't have to be the dirty-minded. I said, trust me, this kind does. Yeah, and like I say, the themes it deals with are really mature as well. Betrayal, murder, incest. Yeah, you really can feel confident about how well the series can handle itself when you can actually mention incest and not turn people off. Trust me, that is a big part of this program. Not loads of characters doing it, but some of the ramifications of that. And yeah. What HBO have done is adapted George R.R. Martin's, magnum opus, his seminal work, and turned it into a fantastic TV show. Just check out the awards this thing has, won, in almost every category. And I can guarantee you'll be hooked just from the opening theme tune. Seriously, I was humming that the whole day at work the other day. Seriously, couldn't stop. It must be because I know Game of Thrones is close. I'm like inadvertently becoming free advertising for them. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Game of Thrones Series 3 and Game of Thrones in general. Check it out. Really watch it. Seriously. I get really tired of people who just blow it off as being, nothing but fantasy. I also blow it off with people who go, oh, it's too long. I can't be bothered to watch that. Don't watch it then. I'm not making you watch it. I'm just recommending you should if you want something that's, intelligent and mature. But don't, act like a bitch about it. Seriously. No one's forcing you to watch it. Go off and watch, frickin' Jersey Shore or MTV Cribs or some shit like that. Seriously, HBO have done something fantastic and brilliant. It's a real shame though that George R.R. Martin takes so long to write these bloody books. The guy's been doing it I think the guy's been writing them longer than I've been alive. I'm 22. Jesus Christ, is that a long time, right? So yeah, hopefully the time between Series 3 and the potential Series 4, well, not Series 4, there's enough for Series 4. There is a book, the fourth book, but I think the fifth book takes place from a different point of view for Series Book 4 or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but needless to say, this guy takes a long time to write them, so the TV series is catching up. They're really catching up. So hopefully he gets another one done soon. It would be a shame to lose Game of Thrones from our TV series. I know HBO have brought him on as a writer, so I'm hoping that means he's going to be just literally writing the series. I hope that doesn't cause again a quality dip in the show, but I'm sure it won't. I have faith in HBO. I have faith in George R.R. Martin. And I have faith that actually with something like this, they'll know when to call it a day. It would be great. It would be better to end on a high, so they can come back to it in the future when he's perhaps got a couple more books, than to just try running with something that doesn't work and running it into the ground. I can't stand the programs which start off strong, reach their peak, and then try to carry on, because it just ruins my DVD collection. That's why I've only collected some of the Stargate SG-1 box sets and not all of them. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Game of Thrones, something you all need to check out if you haven't. Those of you who have know what I'm talking about, and spread the word. You have the responsibility to spread the word. really sell this to the people out there who've never watched it, because it is fantastic. And for those of them who are really looking for this thing to keep them entertained for the next couple months, Game of Thrones will be it. Trust me. So guys, thank you for watching. I wasn't as energetic as I normally am. It's just so cold and I've not had anything to eat or drink yet today, so my energy levels are really down. But I've got some film reviews coming up as well. I'm currently doing a Greek Geek Weekend where I'm watching my favourite Swords and Sandals films. And yeah, they'll be coming up on this channel very soon. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, you should go and get some Maltesers and try and do that whole blowing thing where you try and blow it above your mouth. Yeah, I think you should do that. Tell me how it goes. All right. So thank you guys, and yeah, take it easy, and see you later. Bye. Ciao now.